Virginia, from LaGrange, Georgia. I'm doing a stretch right now, I-20, it's about 300 miles. And I figured I would come here and talk to y'all about these motherfucking caves. And about the arguments that they will try to present. I'm tired of seeing this shit. It pisses me off that they get away with this shit and people aren't rebutting them with some common sense. Because one of the things that the caves like to do is they like to, y'all know they hitting y'all with that all lives matter shit, right? They hitting y'all with that. Well, hitting us with that. And then they also like to hit the fact that, well, more white people are killed by the cops than black people. Y'all know, y'all see these arguments all the time. And I know these arguments are racist and are meant to silence the black voice of liberation, are meant to silence the black voice of putting the truth tellers, right? And anybody who makes these arguments are fucking racist to me. And I know I've got into arguments with people, not full-blown arguments like yelling and screaming, but I've had debates with people where I had to tell them, like, you're a motherfucking racist. Full-blown, and there's, you know, you saying you're not a racist, but based on these two arguments, one, you saying all lives matter, and then two, you talking about the fact that white people are killed more by cops than black people. The reason that anybody making these arguments are fucking racist is because of the simple fact that where the fuck was the All Lives Matter organization in, let's say, randomly 2009? Where were they? Because one of the things that white people don't realize, well, they may realize that they do it, but a lot of them like try to act like they're not racist and they're still doing it anyway, is that when black people are speaking up, they're the anti-voice of black people. They seem to be our mortal enemies. And that's not my fault. That's just based on the history. White people seem to be black people's mortal fucking enemies, because it wasn't until Black Lives Matter was stated that they rebutted with all lives matter. Because see, they didn't care about all lives before that. And then for them to present the argument that white people are killed more by the cops. Now, black people, if you're going to be rebutting this argument, you're not going to be able to do it by the numbers. Because by the numbers, they're not lying. By the numbers, you're not going to be able to defeat this argument. The only way you can defeat this argument is by asking the simple fucking question as to who stopped you from protesting against that. That's the only way you beat this argument. To show what it really is and the reason that it's being said, because it's only meant to be said against you, to belittle your struggle, to belittle what you're saying, your liberation, your fight against racism. Only a racist ass white person presents this argument. Well, you know, I don't know why y'all black people are so mad because white people are being killed. Well, why the fuck wasn't you fighting for it then, you bitch ass motherfucker? Why wasn't you saying anything? I've seen and I know the history of the white man and his mama. I know the history. And I know that these motherfuckers fight for whatever they fucking believe in. You've seen examples with it, what they're doing right now about these fucking face masks. Not knocking them, because I'm not wearing no goddamn mask, right? Not knocking them, but I know how they act when they have a problem with something. Is it black people's fault that even though more white people are shot, your bitch ass don't care? Is that my fault? Was that even an issue? You wouldn't even be saying this if black people wasn't calling out this entire fucking government based on their police brutality. Y'all never heard nothing about white people dying more by the cops. You never heard anything about that. Until black people started having an issue with how we are being killed by the cops or brutalized by the cops. That's the only time you hear this. This is why the only person that will present this argument is a fucking racist. What was All Lives Matter in 2009? You can ask these cave motherfuckers that, and then you can also ask them, because this is what's gonna stump them. Because whenever I get into these debates and I present these two arguments, they ain't got nothing for me. They have nothing. Is it my fault that you don't care that white people being killed by the cops? You didn't want to say anything? You waited until black people were saying something that didn't come out here and present these numbers? Because you're trying to silence the black voice. You're fucking racist. Your job is, white people exist to silence the black voice of truth. Silence the black voice of the truth of the oppression that black people suffer in this country and all over the world. Now, I done told y'all we should never relegate our entire existence to police brutality. But understand, any white person that makes this argument, any of them, that they are fucking racist, and they're only making this argument to silence your voice or to deflect from what your issue is. I can't control what white folk fight for. Not my job to control that. What I do know is they never fought for no damn all lives. Never, not once. And they ain't gave a fuck about none of these white people that they're saying being gunned down by the motherfucking cops. Never gave a fuck about none of that. Until black people came out here and decided to speak up. That's when you'll hear these arguments. So, that's all the fuck I wanted to say. I wanted to make this as short as possible to get the point across. You ask these two questions again, y'all not going to defeat these people on the numbers. Because based on the numbers, based on the statistics, white people are dying more. And you can make the argument that there are more white people, and thus that will justify the uptick in numbers. You can do that, but I don't want to do that. I want to simply know, why the fuck ain't y'all white folk been out here fighting against the cops if you know they out here murdering your people at a higher rate? Motherfucker. And where the fuck was All Lives Matter in 2009? Y'all like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Links to follow me on social media in the description box. Black first, second, and third. And we don't give a fuck what y'all white folk talking about. We're going to let our voices be heard. Shout out Team Rob. Y'all already know what the fuck it is. I'm out.